There is no way that this happened once again. The Boston Celtics just lost game 2 of their second series, just like they did versus Miami, and now the Cavaliers have tied up this series. The Celtics had a brutal offensive showing from three-point range tonight and just simply could not get it done on the defensive side as well. We'll be breaking down, looking at this team, looking at this atrocious performance tonight, and things that they need to capitalize and work for better for Game 3. All of that and more on this episode of Celtics Digest. I'm Bruce Veliz. Before we dive in on all this news, I want to say shout out to everybody that came out to our live watch along. We just finished and wrapped it up. So if you guys want to stay up to date, if you guys want to make sure you get all the fun news, come join us on those live watch alongs where we break down these games. A little bit of a disappointing one, but we had the fans out there tonight and it was absolutely fantastic. Shout out to you guys. Without further ado, let's dive into the video at hand. Make sure to grab a snack as it's going to be a jam-packed episode. Like I mentioned, this is absolutely unacceptable. The Boston Celtics once again lost Game 2 to the Cleveland Cavaliers, this time instead of the Miami Heat. They lost 118-94 in an embarrassing fashion to this Cavaliers squad, who clearly outscored them in the first half and in the second half. It was tied at halftime, looking like the Celtics were able to maybe mount a little bit of a comeback in the third quarter. We all know the third quarter is the kryptonite for the Boston Celtics when they usually have a big lead. So usually in a tied game or in a close one, they tend to come alive in that third quarter, try to win out that third quarter. But tonight, it just did not work. And in the fourth, they were even exceptionally worse. Before pulling out the starters, they had a total of 11 points with 5 minutes to go, which is just not what you want to see out of the Celtics team. Some of the bench guys did not step up in key moments like they did in Game 1, and we had to see some adjustments, some rotation switches, and we did not see that tonight. First off, let's look at the team stats here, kind of analyze how the Celtics did tonight. And like I mentioned, they shot absolutely atrociously tonight. 41% from the field and 22% from three-point range. They did end up taking 35 threes. It looked like they lived or died by that three-point ball, but it was pointed out to me at the end of the game that they did in fact shoot more shots from the mid-range and from the near the basket compared to the three-point range. But not just were they missing three-pointers, but they were missing layups, missing free throws as well, even though their free throw percentage was the best of all of their categories tonight. It still wasn't the greatest as they missed some key free throws as well. They got out-rebounded by the Cleveland Cavaliers, especially on those defensive rebounds, which allowed for the Cavs to be able to get those second chance points. And the Celtics, even though they did have 56 points they had a total of 44 points in the paint compared to the Cavs 60. They tried to score in the paint a little bit better. It did not seem to solve the issues as the Cleveland Cavaliers were hitting from all cylinders. We want to look at the Boston Celtics team stats, kind of analyze, give you my thoughts and anticipations. Unfortunately, Jaylen Brown and Payton Pritchard were the only two that could seemingly get this offense going for the Boston Celtics tonight. Jaylen Brown, 19 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, 7 for 17 from the field, but 0 for 6 from three-point range. Love to see the 5 for 5 from the free throws. Is 9 for 9 from free throws after putting booze on. Jayson Tatum was getting to the rack as well, 9 for 11 from the free throw range. 25 total points with 7 rebounds, 6 assists, and a steal, helping out with all the intangibles. Start off the first half, 3 for 10 from the field, finished 4 for 7 for the rest of the game, which is big. Had a big shooting half in the second half, but didn't attempt any threes in that second half. Derrick White seemed to be a catch-and-shoot guy tonight. 1 for 8 from the field. Did not do his duties as well. 4 rebounds, 5 assists, finished with 10 points. And Horford, who was 4 for 5 from the field in the first quarter, finished 4 for 9. So not great things to see. Like I did mention, from the bench, Payton Pritchard did have a nice performance. 6 for 10 from the field, 1 for 4 from the field with 2 rebounds and 4 assists. Was one of the key contributors on the offensive side and could get this offense, going into a well-oiled machine, get this offense set up. But if we want to look at the Cleveland Cavaliers, some of the main staples I want to talk about were Donovan Mitchell, Max Strus, Caris LeVert, and Evan Mobley, because those guys got their own tonight. The Cavs bench really stepped up. If you guys want to look at the team stats, you guys can see the three-pointer. They shot 46% as a team, but at halftime, they were shooting around that 20 to 30% that the Celtics were shooting. So they absolutely heated up from three-point range in the second half. They were really going through Evan Mobley through the first half. He had 5 for 7 in the restricted area to start the first quarter. Finished with 9 for 15 with a total of 10 rebounds, 21 points, and 5 assists with a steal and 2 blocks. Was one of their key difference makers. And the Celtics not having Porzingis and unfortunately Luke Kornet not playing his best on the defensive side and able to get defensive rebounds. Evan Mobley absolutely cooked down low on Al Horford and on Luke Kornet. If we want to look as well, Garland actually hit his shots, shot 4 for 5 from three-point range with 7 rebounds and 4 assists with a total of 14 points. Donovan Mitchell was on one, finishing with 29 points, 7 rebounds, and 5 assists, shooting 5 for 7 from the three-point range and hitting some absolutely ridiculous ones. Max Strus didn't do the greatest from three-point range, but he still finished with 12 points and 6 rebounds. Isaac Okoro was pretty solid on getting some boards and playing some good defense. He shot efficient as well. Caris LeVert, a known Celtics killer, a guy who I had seen with my own eyes torch the Boston Celtics in December. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, absolutely on fire. Over 3 from three-point range, but 9 for 17 from the field with a total of 6 rebounds, 3 assists, and 21 total points with a plus 14. The Cavs having their role players really step up and come through with guys like Strus, Okoro, and LeVert tonight really helped out with their intangibles of Donovan Mitchell and Evan Mobley to really put this team over the hump, while the Boston Celtics, as you guys can see, just did not fire from all cylinders. We saw this in Game 2 last time with Miami, though, and I am truly, really not worried. The Boston Celtics just struggled from three-point land tonight, did not really get into their sets offensively. We're running a little bit of ISO, a little bit of hero ball in the first half, weren't really passing it, didn't have that playmaking around the perimeter that we'd like to see, and defensively, Evan Mobley was just beasting down low. They did not have a solution for that. And then once Donovan Mitchell started really going in the second half, it was too much. The Celtics could not switch, could not get rebounds. It was just not a great performance overall for the team. Could they have done better? For sure. Will they bounce back? Will they be able to do better in Game 3, in Game 4, heading into Cleveland? I believe so. We really saw this Celtics team warm up and wake up when Miami bounced back, hitting those 23 threes versus the Celtics in Game 2 last series, and I expect the Boston Celtics to do the same thing. Going into these predictions, going into this series, I had Celtics in 5. So I was expecting the Cavs already to win one game versus the Boston Celtics. So let them get this one game at home. Unfortunately for the Celtics, they do have to tie the series, but let the Celtics push through, go into Cleveland, feel confident, win Game 3, win Game 4, and come back to Boston and get the series done in a gentleman's sweep once again. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are down below. What do you guys think about the Boston Celtics' lackluster performance offensively tonight? I would have loved to see them do a lot more with trying to create more opportunities, trying to score more at the basket, and trying to hit that. But again, missing your threes, missing your bunnies, just not a good night offensively, and something that we cannot see again. Lastly, as you guys all know, we got to get to the comment of the day here. So drop your thoughts down below so you guys can be selected for the comment of the day. And today's comment of the day is gotta be Daryl, who talks about, anybody remember Damian Stoudemire? I think we lost a big one there. Mentioning how we talked about in our last video breaking down the Charles Lee coaching decision where he's going to Charlotte. If you guys missed that video, check it out. We broke down the implications for it. But yes, Damian Stoudemire went to college. I believe he went to Georgia Tech to become the Georgia Tech head coach. And he's been doing a solid job over there. He was a fantastic assistant for the Boston Celtics. And like I mentioned, the Celtics in that video, the Celtics have lost guys like Will Hardy. They lost Damian Stoudemire. Now going to be losing Charles Lee. But they found those replacements to replace those guys. And I truly think that they'll be able to find those key replacements in the offseason for Charles Lee, and we'll be A-okay. But we want to wish the best for Charles Lee and wish him nothing but the best of luck going into Charlotte being a head coach. Joe Mazzulla, before the game, had to say, now everybody's going to hate you, everybody's going to clown on you, which I thought was kind of funny. We'll get to see how that impacts Charles Lee. But yeah, wishing him nothing but the best of luck. But like I mentioned, Celtics unfortunately fell short to the Cleveland Cavaliers in this game, something that we desperately did not want to see, and some things need to be changed. We need to work on that defensive pressure, and we need to stop taking the foot off our gas in Game 2. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this episode here of Celtics Digest. If you guys enjoyed the content, make sure to hit the subscribe button as we push for 4,000 subscribers by the end of the playoffs. Check out the other links at the video up top. We'll catch you guys in the next video, in the next live stream. Thank you guys so much. I'm Bruce Veliz. Peace out. Even though the Celtics did not get the win tonight, we're still going to be happy and say, go Boston Celtics. We're not worried over here on Celtics Digest. One fluke loss, and we'll be A-okay. Celtics aren't expected to go 16-0 in the playoffs. Do not fret. Do not worry. Thank you guys so much. Once again, I'm Bruce Veliz. Have a great rest of your day. Peace out. Later.